Hey, thanks so much for finding the video. Do us a favor. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Be sure to leave your comment. We love to interact. Enjoy the video. You know I'm not super big on lists. We've actually had quite a bit of fun with that. I kind of like that. I am always interested in two things when it comes to preseason projections and things like that. Number one, first and foremost, is what does Las Vegas say? What do the guys and gals who literally earn their living being right on these types of things, what do they say? They don't care where you went to school. They don't care what your emotional tie is. They care what their analytics say to spit out a win total, to spit out a betting line, a point spread, whatever it is, because they need to be right, because that's how they build gigantic, huge buildings in the desert. Okay? What do the odds makers say? And then what do the computers say? Basically, what do the people that are completely unemotional, or things that are completely unemotional, say about this particular team, this season, the schedule, whatever? And how closely do they align? So Las Vegas has set LSU's win total at 8.5. Against this schedule, they are projected at 8.5. So they're over. You're talking about a 9-3 season. If they're under, you're talking about an 8-4 potentially. That's what the odds makers in Las Vegas are saying. 8.5. Okay, now my opinion, I've told you my opinion. I think 2021 for LSU is 2018 redo. I think this is a 9-3 football team. I hope the 9-3 is good enough to get them into a New Year's 6, and then you build that momentum, hopefully win a big bowl game, get to 10, and then blast off, I think, 2022, when the guys who were freshmen this past season, Max Johnson, Jaquelin Roy, Keyshawn Boutte, Elias Ricks, Jay Ward, and all those guys are juniors. Boom. That's the class next year, I think, that makes the run potentially at another title. But I think they're 9-3. Vegas has 8.5 over-under. What does ESPN's FPI say? Remember, this is their football power index. So they take all the metrics, strength of schedule, returning starters, how you've recruited, all that sort of stuff. They throw it into the system, the computer, and it spits out a number, and it just tells you objectively what that number is. There is no subjective element to FPI. This is just, what do the computers say? And they've updated their projections, and they go, their game-by-game projections, is what I should say. So their game-by-game projections give you a percentage chance of the team winning that game. FPI has LSU 7-5. Let's run through this real quick. Opener against UCLA. Remember, Vegas, it opened LSU -2. It's bet up to 4 now, and I do think that line is going to swell before kickoff. But they give or FPI gives LSU a 65, you can grab this ball, a 65% chance of beating UCLA. McNeese, 99% chance, obviously. Central Michigan, 90% chance, obviously. Mississippi State, this is a surprising one. And some of you have not liked my point about the Mississippi schools. But I think both of those games on the road this year are tricky. Mississippi State beat you in Baton Rouge last year. And Ole Miss damn near beat you. And Matt Corral's probably the best quarterback in the SEC this year. And Lane Kiffin is the best offensive coach in the SEC. And that's going to be those are going to be really tough games away from home. FPI has Mississippi State. It's basically a coin flip. But they give LSU a 49.1% chance of beating Mississippi State. So it's basically 50-50. It's a coin flip game in Starkville. Auburn, LSU has a 54.8% chance of beating Auburn. So LSU is a little better than a coin flip. At Kentucky, 56% chance of winning that game. You're going to notice a trend here as I keep saying this. Home game against Florida, LSU just 47% chance to win that. So Florida would be favored there. At Ole Miss, 45% chance of winning in Oxford. At Bama, LSU just a 9% chance to win that game. 71% chance to beat Arkansas, 98% chance to beat ULM, and then just a 35% chance to beat Texas A&M in Baton Rouge. It's a little bit of a gut punch there when you see it. But the point that I've kind of made a little that this does sort of jive with, and I know when we've talked about some of the point spreads and the odds with Jimmy, he's spoken to this as well. LSU in Vegas may be favored in every game except Alabama. Now, the A&M game, the Ole Miss game, they might be a slight, like a 1-point dog in those. So we'll see. But look at the percentages here. Mississippi State, 49%. Auburn, 54%. Kentucky, 56%. Florida, 47%. Ole Miss, 45%. 5 games on your schedule. 5 games on your schedule are inside or between 49 and 56% odds. They're basically saying almost half of your schedule is a coin flip. That's why this season, that's why this LSU team, in my opinion, is one of, if not the most unpredictable team for this year. LSU has the biggest boom or bust potential, I think, of any team in the SEC this year. I can't speak to the entirety of college football because I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know the boom or bust potential for every team in college football based on their schedule, et cetera. But when half of your schedule, more than half of your conference games are virtual coin flips, if you hit a hot streak, brother, and they all go your way, you're a playoff team. Maybe all but Alabama, you're a playoff team. If the opposite is true, you're 500 or just over 500. And then you look at back-to-back really disappointing seasons, and what does that mean for the future of this program, immediate and long term? So a lot of people, my point is, expect many people to have a wide-ranging opinion on this LSU team. Because when 5 of your 8 conference games are based on these analytics, a virtual coin flip, and Vegas is going to back that up, you're going to have all of the games I just mentioned within a field goal as the point spread. You have boom or bust potential. Now, my opinion is generally you fall somewhere in the middle. And if that's the case, yeah, you're going to beat UCLA, McNeese, Central Michigan, ULM. That's 4. And I mentioned the 5 games that were the coin flips, but I think you win at Kentucky, and I don't know how much of a coin flip that really is. We'll see. But if the majority of those games go your way, I think that puts you at 9 wins. So I think that's where this team will land. But we'll wait and see how it all plays out. But just expect next week when SEC Media Days is going on in Alabama, especially Monday when LSU takes its turn, and a lot of people are talking about this team, and LSU's dominating a lot of the headlines because it's LSU, South Carolina, who nobody's really going to care about. Florida's going to be there as well, which will draw a lot of attention. Expect a very wide variety of opinions on this LSU team. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.